Poolman.
Hello, sir. Hello. I've got a bit of an emergency. It's regards 102 Lower Hall Street, WA101GE. It's regards two key fobs and the two key fobs for the obviously for the main entrance that are required, and the water switching back on and the electric switching back on. I believe that you should have already received a call from Inspector Neil Billsborough, and he's from obviously Merseyside Police, and there is a crime number on it. He stipulated to us that he would have contacted, as we said, that it would be better with someone, obviously with the policeman. I mean, I'm the partner of the landlord, and the tenants are there waiting, but they don't have any electricity or water still back on.
And who are you calling on behalf of?
Anthony Badley.
Who, sorry?
Anthony Badley, the landlord. And also contacting on behalf of the tenant, which is Christine Hillier.
Right. But at the moment, there's been no transfer of sale or anything like that with regards to 102, so we won't be giving out any bobs or anything like that for that property.
It's not transfer of sale. She's a tenant.
Sorry?
She's a tenant.
Right, but at this moment in time, 102 Lower Hall Street.
Yeah.
Isn't owned by the person who you said.
Who's it owned by?
There's well, in that case, then you may wish to speak to Niels Billsborough, the Inspector Niels Billsborough, because it's all been confirmed that he is the landlord, and that Christine Hillier is the tenant, and that she is to be allowed back in, and that it is a crime that the water and the electricity have been turned off, because you cannot withdraw that from the people, and that it is to be switched back on immediately.
Absolutely not. In 102 Lower Hall Street at this moment in time, until we get confirmation and the people who we're dealing with regards to the receiver that the property's been sold. We haven't received any notice of transfers.
Who is? I mean, because Anthony Badley is the owner. Obviously, for him to be the tenant, for him to be the landlord, he has to be the owner. Yes. So he is the owner. So who have you got down as the owner?
Well, that's data protection. I'm not going through that with you, so that's fine. You get your client to email us, and we'll review the email, and we'll forward it on to the people who we've been dealing with regards to 102 Lower Hall Street.
Can you confirm if? Well, because I mean, I mostly will go to Neil Billsborough, the Inspector Neil Billsborough, but has he not been in touch with you? Have you Inspector Neil Billsborough?
No.
So so okay then, because he did confirm 2 days ago that he would be in touch with you. So thank you. Thank you for that confirmation. Then, so you've received no contact.
Police over the weekend.
You had 2 police over the weekend.
We've spoken to the police over the weekend. Yes.
And would that have been Thomas Cunningham, DC Thomas Cunningham, or Inspector Neil Billsborough?
Yeah, Anthony went to court about this. They did try to sue him to take the apartment off him, and they lost 3 times.
Sorry.
So that was just a radio that was playing on the side.
We spoke to Jonathan Butler.
Jonathan Butler. And what position was he? I take it he was from Merseyside, yeah? Merseyside Police?
Yeah. And like I say, until we get any transfer details, we're not giving out anything for 102 Lower Hall Street.
No, that's fine. I just want to, this is nothing to do with that. It's with the police, I mean, because obviously we've been dealing with the police. We've had it confirmed that from Thomas Cunningham that this was a civil matter and there's nothing to do with the police. And Inspector Neil Billsborough has clearly stated that it is an offence to turn off the water and electricity, so it's to be turned back on. And he did say to us that he would contact you. There is somebody in there right now.
Well, you sent through your
the whole point. The point is the police went down and removed the Christine on 2 occasions, and both times they released them back to the property. She's in the property now. She has full title of the property, and the policeman stated that he would contact you. That was Inspector Niels Billsborough stated that he would contact either yourself or.
So, like I said, the names of the people who should own the property are incorrect. So, I suggest you get your contact to email us with regards to their full notice of transfer, deed of covenant, and so on and so forth, because you have the wrong person on that property. The owner. Did you say who did you say the owner of the property was again? Sorry.
Anthony Baddeley.
Mr. Who?
Anthony Baddeley.
Anthony Baddeley.
Baddeley. Baddeley. Baddeley. Badallo.
No, it's the wrong person you've got who owns that property.
Well, in that case, then I shall contact I shall contact my partner, and I shall see what he does. I mean, but you'll probably get a call from Neil Billsborough, actually, because at the end of the day, it's down to his decision now. Regardless, there is a tenant in that property right now, and she has had her water and electricity.
But there, so it's perfectly fine.
That's according to your paperwork. That's according to your paperwork. The paperwork that she has obviously been confirmed by the police that she is entitled to be in there. They've reduced that. Okay, well, we'll leave that in the policeman's hands.
Why would the shutter doors taken off it?
There's, I mean, who put the shutter doors on there? Who put the shutter doors on there?
The receivers who took control of the property.
So where's the warrant of control?
We've got it.
You've got the warrant of control there, yeah?
We've been emailed that from the old agent.
Well, there's never been a warrant shown. So in that case, then I shall get. In that case, then yeah, we'll get. Anthony can forward you, and you can forward him on all the information that you're saying.
We're not forwarding anything.
Well, you've made the claim that you've got one. So.
We've got confirmation that the property's gone into receivership.
By. The bank can't make that decision. Yeah, it's the court. So it's the court that makes that decision. Which court is it? And which court created an alleged warrant?
Well, you go and speak to your receiver about that. Like I said, there shouldn't be anybody in that property. You know that as well as I do. So.
No, I know exactly what I'm saying. Unless there is a warrant, then it's not been taken, is it? And the bank cannot say that they own it just because they said so. It's got to come from a court. So if it's come from a court, which court? And where is this order? And where is this warrant?
You must speak to the bank about it. You get your client who owns the property to go and sort this out. It's nothing to do with us.
Listen, if the bank's made up, if the bank has created by forgery, false instruments, making claims to you, you should be very concerned about this too, shouldn't you not? If those, you should be very concerned and interested in this because they're using you. So therefore, you're becoming complicit in this by making those claims that you have warrants. You just made a claim that you've got a warrant.
We've got documentation that there's been a receipt, the property gone into receivership, and that they're the owners of the property. That's what I said we've got.
Well, if you can't just have pieces of paper saying they've got it. You know, that piece of paper's got to be proven to be legitimate and authentic and valid. If that paperwork isn't correct, then it is false, and it's forgery, it's counterfeiting. I could make these pieces of paper up. I could make these pieces of paper up, yeah?
Yeah.
Unless it's come from the court, unless it's come from a court, sir, unless it's come from... Who's paid the service? I mean, I'm not in a position to speak about that because I'm not, and I don't have that information in front of me. But my simple point is, yeah, you said that somebody's received it, somebody therefore you're saying it's come from it's got to come from the court, my friend. Obviously, yeah, you understand that.
We have documentation that's been provided to say that the property's gone into receivership.
And is that come from the? Yeah, but you said he got a warrant. A warrant doesn't come from the bank, so you've got it something from a court.
No, like I said, we've got documentation.
But is the documentation from the court?
You asked me who put up the roller shutters.
Yes.
The receivers did.
So the receivers put with what authority? You can't just go and you can't just go and put a shutter up on someone's door. You have to get some form of authority. Pardon? They listen, to put something on that door, they need the authority to do that. Okay? So that authority is going to have to have come from the court, correct? If they've gone down there and if they've taken people out of that property and put things on the door, they've got to have something from the court. I can't.
Private conversation was the receiver, not to us. Okay? But like I said, as far as we're concerned, that property is into receivership.
So, okay, sorry, I'm just trying to build some information because obviously I need to forward on the information to Niels Bilsborough, because obviously he's made the claim that you know, it is a crime. You know, you cannot cut people's water off. Yeah, I mean that goes right the way back, by the way, to the to 1215. That's regardless. Regardless, yeah, if the water's off when it can't be off, that's the point. It shouldn't be off. There's somebody in there, so it can't be off. That's human rights, my friend. That's human rights. You're messing with human rights. You know.
We're messing with human rights.
Yeah, would you like? Yeah, if someone you were living there, yeah, regardless of, doesn't matter what you've. I mean, we only deal with facts here. I'm only dealing with facts, not paperwork that's not been substantiated. You've got stuff there, but you haven't. You can't substantiate it.
Someone turned up over the weekend with an angle grinder, I shut the door, and then forced entry into the property. Correct? Correct. But the weekend.
Right.
Is that what?
You're telling me, yeah. You're telling me what. So you. I can't say. I mean, I'm just the agent. I mean, all I know is that somebody in that property that needs water. Yeah. I'm not sure on how possession went back to regain possession of their property as it took place, but obviously they took possession back of the property, and I do believe that police were involved. Well, obviously the person, because that was the person that gained access back in there. Yeah? Well, if we're dealing with facts, yeah, I mean, because who was the previous owner before you said that somebody's taken possession of it? So who did they take possession of it of? And if they did take possession, where is the court? Where is the court authority that gave them the court authority? Because the authority had to come from the court. So where is that authority from the court to give them that position to do that? What were you? So you've got a thief in there that's taken something off somebody without no authority of the court, and you're going to ask him and expect this thief to tell you the truth? It's up to him, mate. Listen, the burden of proof falls on the man who makes the claim. If they make the claim that they've received it, they now carry that burden of proof, which is an obligation. Now they carry the duty, which is an obligation. They've created a contract by making a claim. So if they're making a claim that they've taken that property lawfully with the authority of the court, they got to now produce that physical material evidence to substantiate that claim. That's their obligation. So you're saying that they've taken it back. Yeah, and you're refusing to turn. So you're refusing to turn their water and electric on. That's not being asked for. But the point is, the water and the electricity is the main one that's being asked for. So you're refusing to turn the water and the electric on. Okay, that's what you've stated. So that's fine. So that's what you. That's. So I'll just forward on the message, man. I'm just a middleman, mate. I mean, I'm just a middleman. I shall do. So yeah, I shall do. Yeah. So the main thing is the main thing is. I mean, let's put the key fob to one side. The point is, there's somebody living there, and you're refusing to turn their water and electric on because you're saying it's whatever you're saying. But the point is, we're not judge and jury of all that. That's where that goes to court. That's where that goes to court, and they decide that point. But until that point comes to that crunch, yeah. In the meantime, they need their water and electricity turned on.
We'll get up on Saturday and look around it off a steel door, or send to the building. The people who you said own the property don't own that property, and now someone's.
So you're making a claim now that they don't own the property, but your claim to say that they don't own that property, yeah. So that does not mean that does not make it a fact that that person doesn't own the property. But all that means is that you've got something on them. No, because you've got something that somebody's taken possession of it.
We have some, the bank's taken possession of the property. You're saying that a gentleman by the name of owns. Where's the notice of transfer provided for that?
Well, this is the point. No, the point is you're saying that the bank's taking it, but you know, if the banks have taken it off the person we're talking about, and they've taken it off it without the authority of the court, then that is theft, not lawfully taken off him, is it? So you've got something that's wrong. I've just said to you, if they're the criminals, you do know that the banks pay the courts. If you don't, and you should do. So they get favors, don't they? So they get pieces of paper. But the thing is, there is due process. There is due process, and therefore the court would need to give you something, and that would have to be verified. So we need to see what the court's given them to make that claim that they've taken it with lawful possession. That's okay. I mean, all I was after was one simple thing: is like, you know, was the electric and water turned on? But you're refusing to do that because you're saying, for whatever reasons you're saying. But I have asked you. Yeah. I just want you to know that I have asked you to turn the water back on, and that you're saying that you don't have to because for whatever your reasons are. We believe at this moment in time, like I say, if someone set up on Saturday and look around the door off or send you into the building. And that's obvious. And the other side to it is that the obvious thing is police were involved, and the police have released everything in the back, and it's back as normal. So that everything's back as it was. So obviously, yeah, his name. So yeah, the Inspector Neil Billsborough. Inspector Neil Billsborough. That's who you need to speak to. In fact, that's Neil Billsborough. Inspector Neil Billsborough, yeah. Billsborough. I've put it as Neil Billsborough. That's how I spelt his name. But Neil's Billsborough, yeah. We'll speak to them. Yeah. No problem. Okay, that's brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. And he can confirm. He can confirm to you then. You know, it'll be easier. You know, because I mean, obviously, this was why Neil was meant to be calling. Because it's, you know, it's like, you're not going to take, and I don't blame you, because, you know, you don't know me from fucking Adam. So I can totally understand where you're coming from, and you've got what you're seeing, and it's like, there's like confusion. So, but coming from him, it would be a lot. And that's why we asked him to call him. That's why we asked him to call you, to make sure that the water was put on. And obviously, either he hasn't called you or he's called somebody else, or I don't know. But anyway, you know, you can confirm with him, because, you know, I can assure you he did say, and he said, I will make that phone call. But if he hasn't, then he may have got distracted and forgot about it for whatever reasons. But if you can contact him, you may get the answer, and then everything can be sweet. And like I said, I'm not falling out with you. I don't want to fall out. I'm just.
Yeah. We've spoken to other people today as well with regards to it. So I believe they're waiting for phone calls back from the police as well.
Yeah. So I mean, it should all come clean anyway. And then I'm sure that the police can tell you exactly what needs to be done. Like, you know, as far as anything else goes in the situation, whether or not now it comes down to being proven, then that's fine. But in the meantime, whilst that they need their water and electricity until that future point, and until the bank has been asked to produce that material evidence, you can't leave them without it until that point in time. Do you know what I mean? All we want is what is correct and true. And if they make the claims that they've taken it lawfully, then they're going to have a court. They're going to have the information from the court. The due process has been followed. There's going to be a correct case management file that will produce all the evidence, the filing fees and warrants being issued and courts and orders being given and granted. It'll all be in there, and then it can be proven. So long as that can all be proven, everyone's going to be happy, you know, and we'll agree with it. But until that point, yeah, I know that there's disputes with the banks, the councils, and other people have been told to involve the police and whatever else, and they're saying no, it's you should be doing the investigation and blah blah blah. So there is major investigation still going on, and the point is, what you've got on your screen isn't verified. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not been verified by the court. They might tell you, they might have some pieces of paper that, by all intents and purposes, if no one knows what they look like, they look legitimate. But until they've been verified and certified by the case management file that everything's due process has been followed, then they're not genuine, authentic, and valid and certifiable. That's all. That's all we're after. Just the simple, solid facts that, you know, that they actually had the correct authority and that they didn't counterfeit that authority. That's all. You understand?
I understand, yeah, but like I say, we won't be looking to turn anything on.
No, but no, but by all means, please do. You know, you have just said that you will contact Neil Billsborough, who is an inspector, and he has, and I can state to you, yeah, and in fact, I can even give you the recording where he has said that no, they're totally okay to go back in, and that it's nothing to do with them. It's a civil matter, and that it is wrong. It is wrong that the water and electricity is turned off, and that he will make that contact for us because we said that, you know, you've got more clout, and they will listen to you, obviously, because you're in a position that you're going to listen. If he tells you to put it on, you'll say okay, won't you? Would I be correct?
Please fingers on that.
If Neil Billsborough,
we'll go and speak to who we need to speak to and find out what exactly is going on here.
Okay then. All right then. Thank you very much, sir. What was your name, by the way? What was your name? John. You bastard. Put the phone down on me. Don't know if you told me his name at the beginning. Anyway, there's that bit.
Right. What to do next? I think it's that property company that's involved in all this bullshit.
Well, the thing is to I know what to do. That should be recorded anyway. Okay. So
it was only their lawyer that's made this letter and sent it there.
No, I think I held myself quite well. You know what I mean? So yeah. let's just see if we. Only 16 minutes of it goes. Only 16 minutes 44. What's that then? So what was it really? How long was it? Are you still recording? No, you can stop.
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Yeah, stop.